Hello! Welcome back to another video. Today I decided to do the Mid Year Freakout book tag. Let's look at all of the questions and let's see how my reading year has been going. Please feel free to answer any of the questions down below as well. I would be really curious to hear about how your reading year has been going. I would love to receive recommendations, or if you've read any of these books, let me know. I would love to talk about them. Let's get into it. My best book of 2026. I actually have two books for this. I think that will be a common theme with most of these questions. First is a reread, Jane Eyre. This is about my third or fourth time reading this. However, this time I read it together with my book club. This was universally beloved in my book club. We all loved Jane. We all loved the writing style because this book is incomparable. It's so good. This follows Jane, who has a very rough childhood. She becomes a governess for a girl in the house of Mr. Rochester. And it follows not just her love story with Mr. Rochester, but her finding herself. It's really wrought with wisdom and amazing writing and great character development. And it was such a joy rereading this, so I would really recommend this if you haven't read it yet. My new favorite, so not a reread, is Lonesome Dove. Look at that. This was an experience. This is what the annotations look like, and one of my friends actually said that it looks like my Bible, which I think is interesting. This follows our two main characters who own a ranch in the south of America, and they have to move cattle, and that's it. It's a very simple premise, and yet you deeply fall in love with the main characters. You are so invested in them moving this cattle because they go through a desert. They experience thunderstorms, lightning storms, snow, locusts. It's real. It gets Old Testamental. It is incredibly interesting, so intense, very heartwarming at times. It's deeply moving at other times. It really provokes all of the feelings in you that a good and well-written book should provoke in you. I absolutely loved this. It was a bit difficult to get through in the beginning. I had to kind of get a hang of it, but especially thanks to the characters and the setting, this has not left my mind. This was my truest obsession at the start of the year. I very rarely give 5 stars, especially to books that I haven't read before. So like Jane Eyre is a unrelenting 5 stars. I love it. However, like I said, I've read that a few times now. This is my only genuine 5-star that is not a reread of the year. And like I said, I'm pretty harsh. Not to say I've not read good books this year. It has to hit both on a literary level as well as on an emotional level. And my guy Larry did it. I continue to be obsessed with cowboys thanks to this. I forgot one of the books. Question number 2. Best, I have a paper because I'm old. Best sequel of 2026. I didn't read that many sequels this year. I enjoyed finishing some series, but my genuinely best sequel is the second part to First Time Caller and mainly And Now Back to You. I love these books. They are interconnected standalone romance novels that are really heartwarming, really sweet. They have the cutest characters. They are genuinely so cozy. I was so enraptured by this. Just know that this is spicy, so it has, I believe, 1 or 2 scenes. The underlying tone of the books is not really spicy, it's more sweet. I loved the second book. I actually enjoyed it more than the first book, which is why I thought this would be a good answer to the question. New releases you haven't read yet. Deeply embarrassing. I have a whole list of new releases in my reading journal that I haven't read yet. This year was the year of tackling my physical TBR, and new releases are expansive, so I didn't really get a chance to purchase any and read them. Here are just a few that I haven't picked up yet, but I really want to. Graceless Heart, A Stage Set for Villains, Her Last Breath, Daughter of Crows, Starside, Japanese Gothic, The Last Contract of Isako, A Brood Awakening, A Darker Shore, The River She Became, Tropesick. I'm thinking of doing a vlog on new releases, so I might just be picking picking them up really soon. Most anticipated new releases for the second half. I have, again, quite a few. This month, when I am filming this in July, we have the mashup, which I've already seen reviews on and people are really loving it. September brings us to Cage a Wild Bird, which... Grim Tidings. I am so excited about Grim Tidings. I cannot express to you how much I require a new BK person. I love her. Defied the Dusk. Crazy thing happening in November. Truly crazy. I cannot wait. And Till Quest Do Us Part. That is to finish us off for December. Especially the BK Borison and the Daniel Jensen. Mark my words, YouTube. Watch me read those. Biggest disappointment of the year. I was really excited about a lot of books this year, and then upon reading them, big yikes. I have only one physically here left because the other two I sold because I was so saddened. So here we, not like that, there we go. Here we have Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. This is one of the books that I had to read for my top 100 list with my sister. This won the Nobel Prize, which got me deeply confused. I did not enjoy this. I was very excited to read this because it is a murder mystery with an elderly woman as a main character, okay? She lives in Poland. It's an eco-fiction, and I heard it's funny. Why did I not like this? I mean, I know why I didn't like it. This was really the type of book that I should have loved, and I really didn't. I did not gel with it. I have a review for it up if you'd like to listen to all of my reasons. This was not for me. We also have All Roads Lead Here. I really thought that Mariana Zapata was going to be for me. I was deeply wrong. Not only was it very frustrating and it had a main character that I could not get behind. No. It was also, in my opinion, quite poorly written and really sad to say that I couldn't connect with this book whatsoever. And in a very similar vein, we have Broken Country. I scoured Vinted for this book and I was prepared to give out hard-earned money for this book. And eventually I said, you know what? Audiobook came in. It's not to say that it's a bad book. It's just that my excitement level was not met with what this book had to offer. So I'm very sad to say that it didn't work for me. Very happy that I did not spend my money on it. Okay, the biggest surprises of the year. One, The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. This surprised me just because I'd never read anything by Edith Wharton. I heard a lot of people talk about this, but they were kind of talking more about, oh, there's one, Ethan Frome? Is that it? And everyone was saying how bleak and depressing it is. But then we read this for the book club that I'm in. It took a really long time for me to pick this up. So I thought I wouldn't actually enjoy this. And then when I really got the hang of it, as you can see by my annotations here, I loved this. Even though the main character, well, all of the main characters are characters that I don't necessarily agree with. I loved how this was written. It was really complex and it made me think. Then we also have The Snow Child, which really surprised me because usually I'm not really often into more slow, cozy books, especially if they're like fairy tale based. For some reason, they don't really capture my attention, which is shocking to me because it does sound like it should. Like that sounds like something I would enjoy. This one, not only did I find it beautiful, I found the writing really tender and sweet, and I love the magic realism element of it, which again, not really my thing most of the time. I get quite frustrated with magical realism, but this one really worked for me. So I was very surprised by just how much I enjoyed this. I think it was really the right time for me to read this. My favorite new author. This year was really the year of me discovering some new faves, some people that I'm very excited to read the work of. One of them is Pierce Brown. I really enjoyed Red Rising. It's kind of like a fantasy sci-fi set in space. The way he wrote, the topics that he addressed, the character that he created, I'm just very excited to see what he does with this world. And then genuinely what seems to be on the opposite spectrum, Beth Brower. I discovered Emma M. Lyon, the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon this year. And I think like probably almost everyone, I loved these books. Emma is enchanting, and what really captured me is the writing. It's very charming, it's very sweet, it's very witty, but in like an understated way. So I'm very excited to explore more of Beth Brower's work. My newest favorite character, again, I have a couple here. First of all, both main characters from Lonesome Dove, Cal and Gus, both their dynamic as well as them individually were so complex, and I loved following them. But I also really loved Vera Wong from Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. She is so funny. This is such a sweet, cozy mystery, and Vera really made the book for me. Book that made you cry. I cry a lot. I'm a big crier. Big crier. Wild Dark Shore, Charlotte McConaughey. You need a good cry, but in like the most depressing way possible. Charlotte McConaughey, The Snow Child, made me pretty much sob. One of the subplots of the story is one of infertility. This was also part of the start of the year for me. It was something that I was going through, and it was quite hard for me. It made me feel quite seen, and I connected to the struggle of the main characters and the joy of having a child, even if it is a snow child. Kind of the driving force of this entire story is the need of a child and someone to love. It really connected to me at the right time. Most of the time, I cry because I find something really beautiful or deeply romantic. So romances almost always make me cry. Guaranteed, B.K. Borson will make me sob. She has the same talent that Emily Henry has, which is to pick topics for the main characters to struggle with that I have struggled with in the past, or that I really connect to. I can really empathize with them finding a resolution, finding comfort in another person who can help them go through the hardships of these troubles is what really gets me with every single book. So this made me ugly cry. Now, the other side of the spectrum, books that made me happy. The ones that I've mentioned already, these ones over here. Vera Wong, very funny. Of course, Emma, very funny. A new one, The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love, also very funny. This is really charming as well. The silliness of this book, but in like the most self-aware way. One of the characters says, "By Jove, this is outrageous." "No, madam," Devon said. "It is ornithology." The most beautiful book I got this year, because I mainly shop secondhand, I don't get special editions. I do love these covers from this series, the Heartstrings series maybe? I think that's what it is. These covers are just really beautiful to me. They go perfectly together. They really capture the sweetness of the stories. But I can't say they're like particularly special or beautiful books. I'm really sad to say I don't have a lot of beautiful books. What do you want to read the rest of the year? So I already mentioned the new releases for the second half of the year, but I have a couple of books also that I just purchased that I am so excited to read. First of all, I definitely want to continue the Emma M. Lyon series. If I can get my hands on the next books in the series, I would love to continue that. I would also love to read Shadow of the Gods. I think I'm really going to enjoy this. I would also love to pick up Golden Sun, the second book to the Red Rising series. I simply haven't found it secondhand yet, but once I do, I'll be devouring that. That has to be something that I read this year. Then also a classic that I'm very excited to pick up is Crime and Punishment. I would love to read that this year. I have it on my top 100 list with my sister, and I've mostly loved Russian literature in the past, so I think I will really like that one as well. So there you go. Those are all of my answers to these questions. Again, if you would like to answer the questions, please leave all of the info down below. I am not tagging someone in particular, so if you would like to do this video, please go ahead. Consider this me tagging you. I would love to see more of them. If you already have a mid-year book freakout tag, please leave it down below as well. I would love to watch yours. But if you've read any of these books, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on all of these. Let's discuss all things books in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a blessed day. See you next time. Bye!